Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, this would be nothing. And I'm actually getting set up for live streaming at 9 o'clock. A little over 2 hours from now, we'll be live streaming, and we want you to be part of the conversation. As well as I do the Benet Emery show at 9:45, so you can be part of seeing me go on live on that show. But one of the things we definitely going to have to talk about is Zeke Elliot, because there's a witch hunt out for him. I mean, TMZ literally must just be in his back pocket because they're looking for anything and everything. You know, and every time I start hitting the wires and stuff and you see Zeke Elliott's name, you kind of go, uh-oh, what is it now? Because they've gotten us set up to the point where we think automatically that he is a bad guy. Now, don't get me wrong. Boatgate, that was wrong. However, I can understand what was going on when I showed you guys that other video that they're not putting out there. This wasn't like there weren't boobs being shown all over the place in this situation, because the woman behind her, she's flashing hers. But they're not talking about that. They make it sound like he's just out in public and he just pulled a woman's top down. Well, we don't know how many times boobs were flying out. We don't know if this was part of the float. If this was something like Mardi Gras, you know what I'm saying? Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying it. But when you start looking at the whole Boatgate now, where we're hearing that the Coast Guard searched their vessel, his yacht, okay. You see the headlines are so misleading. First of all, it wasn't Zeke Elliott's boat. It was one of those celebrity cruise yachts that you rent for parties. It was parked on the dock. So they did a check to make sure they have enough life preservers on the boat. Kind of a typical thing. They didn't even talk to Zeke Elliot. Zeke Elliot, if you look at the picture, he's over on a jet ski, and it looks like somebody's giving him directions on how to drive it. You see the Coast Guard guy with his eyes bugged wide open and big cheesy grin. Why? He's just having fun too. Stop by. Hey, everything okay? You guys got enough life preservers? But you would think that this was a case of Miami Vice. That they stopped him at the high seas with a Coast Guard cutter. Cut your engines. You know, we're coming aboard. Now, the partying thing doesn't bother me as much as my concern of how much is Zeke working out. That's really my question, more so than the incidences. Don't get me wrong. Boatgate was wrong. But when you look at the nightclub in Ohio, where somebody else brought a gun, so you're in Ohio, then you're in Dallas on the parade, you're in Miami vacationing. I know it's the off season, but my worry is, are you staying in shape? And I know it's the off season, but with football, there really isn't an off season. I know the polar opposite of this is Dak Prescott. You haven't heard about Dak going out. The last time you heard about Dak going out was right after the Super Bowl to Las Vegas with Zeke. What's interesting is Dak has been working out in Florida. He's been back home in Louisiana, low key, working on his craft. I would definitely like to see Zeke doing a little more of that myself. This every week that we're hearing about a different party and another incident, TMZ is going to be right there in his back pocket. He can't sneeze without getting a picture taken right now. I know he's 21 years old, and a lot of people will say, hey, he's just out having fun. I understand that, but enough is enough. Let's work on football for next year. Let's try and stay a little bit more out of the limelight. Now, we'll definitely be talking about this when we start live streaming at 9, and definitely on the Vinay Emery Show. And I hope you guys join us because we've got a lot to talk about. Tony Romo, well, he's still a Dallas Cowboy. So we'll see where all that goes. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. And we'll see you in 2 hours.